somebody mentioned tonight the connector road from the facility to the new interchange. Here we are including part of the project is a connector link between that interchange and the intermodal, and it's not even in the city limits. So that seems a little bit, you know, cart before the horse to, you know, talk about a project that's not even in the city. And, you know, we've talked from time to time about control, and basically the control is in the contract. Because after the contract is signed, we're not going to receive anything, very little will be changed. That would really be it. Talking about reneging on a contract, that definitely would be, you know, trying to change the game after they had signed agreements. So I think that we need to, if we're going to have control over the project, and that's why we say we want it in the city of Gardner, then you do it through the contract now. You don't wait till later. I guess most of the rest of it. And you know, somebody mentioned all the things that were talked about in the beginning. Some of it was only because of the 85% figure, and they went away. The quiet zone's the only one that we ended up with was on Moonlight, and I'm not sure how the billing came out. A short time ago, council was asked to modify our contracts on Moonlight by $500,000, and I don't know if that had to do with the quiet zone or what that had to do with, but it was the crossing, the BNS crossing. So, you know, we've already, you know, had to pay some in that respect. And the others, obviously, you know, long past. So, anyway, for now.
I had a couple of questions to your points, John. You had a lot of them very good, very valid points. On the discussion about the Waverly Road overpasses, there's the one that is built in and one that's just there but not currently funded, the north side. That goes over the main lines and so on. The other one goes over the feeder lines into the facility. And you say, well, should we do that now or should we do it later? I guess my question, it may be rhetorical, I don't know, but have we not, and are we not dealing with issues now that, had they been dealt with 10 or 15 years ago, would be much easier on the community, and our answers would be much better? You know, we're dealing with transportation issues now for which we have no means to pay. Is that, and again, I say that may be rhetorical, is that not the case? And would we not want to create, using the taxes paid by this facility, this is not coming out of our general fund here, that's using funds coming from the facility to pay for those things that would mitigate that nuisance later, as well as an overpass of that nature would reduce the amount of idling that trucks would have attempting to cross multiple crossings. The question.
Well, first of all, the idling, I thought that was a little bit unusual, that we were concerned about idling on the south overpass, but the north overpass, it's optional. We'll build it if we can afford it. Doesn't seem to be as important on idling.
The north overpass crosses the main lines, so those trains are going to be moving through at speed rather than slowly in and out of the facility on the southern tracks. So, I mean, I guess your opinion, your opinion on looking at funding those things.
That benefits Gardner. How it would benefit BNSF, because they're going to be entering slowly, exiting slowly, and so they're going to have more delay. You're correct. but that would benefit Gardner, talking about not just the truck traffic, but Gardner in general. How would that benefit Gardner?
It would benefit Gardner in general in that we have good, steady movement of vehicles around and in the facility, and by creating public infrastructure that would lend itself to making the facility more successful and more accessible, would benefit us in the long run in that we would see success as they see success. In other words, I understand that the NSF and the Allen Group is in business to make a profit. I think every business person is indeed in business to make a profit. That's the goal, and I would maintain that we benefit as a community when we have more businesses that are profitable than more businesses that are not profitable. And if we assist them in being successful, then we in turn would see success from that, from having the benefit of a thriving commercial development community. The question on the BNSF paying more electric excise, whether they do or whether they don't, I guess in this agreement they are. And in the goals of the IRC, we had stated that this development should pay for itself. And I assume then that your belief is that paying for itself means paying for what they have to do normally and then paying for everything else as well? Compared to other, I don't know, is that, am I interpreting that wrong?
I think so.
Okay, so you would agree then that if they pay the normal fees that you would request anyone else to pay, and in order to make it successful, we take those fees and apply it to the infrastructure around that development, that would be appropriate.
I'm saying that, okay, we don't, any other developer, let's rephrase that a little bit.
Okay?
Any other developer comes in, they pay their excise fees, do we let them dictate how that excise tax will be used?
We have negotiated with other developers and allowed that excise to be applied to specific projects, which is what we've done in this case.
Basically, overall, we've got other needs, not just immediately in that area. So, we use that excise tax, obviously, for a lot of things.
Sure.
We're using it for moonlight in some cases.
Yeah, we used it for Center Street, we used it for North and South Center.
So consequently, yes, we may feed some of that back to that immediate area, but still we look at the overall amount of money and say, well, this is where it best serves Gardner.
Okay.
So we don't allow. Your answer would be, no, we don't. The developer to dictate where that will be spent.
Yeah, my answer is we, in certain circumstances, negotiated where that would be spent and whether we applied it to their development specifically or elsewhere. We've done that in this particular case, back to stated goal of utilizing fees and taxes from this development to pay for the needs of the development. That would lend itself to do that, rather than pull other monies from the city to do so even now or later. I guess my question on the plan to keep the truck traffic off the main street, I'm not sure how approving this agreement or rescinding this agreement has a benefit on or an impact on that activity. The agreement is not related to specific traffic. I know we have, as a planning commission, looked at plans for the development as a planned unit development, and as part of that, traffic patterns are part of the discussion. But I would submit then that if it were in the city of Edgerton's control, we would have significantly less likelihood of controlling those things.